Jangling under old neons. She don't know he's barely hanging on. Last chance betting the whole damn farm on cracking his hand around a rigging.
How old is Booger?
Booger's 10, unfortunately.
Booger T. Washington?
Yeah, look dead in that camera and say Booger T. Washington.
Booger T. Washington. Is that his name?
It's a little booger bear. I need to get I want to get a whole fleet of corgis. I got names already lined up for all of them. Jalapeno. Because, dude, a dog name, it has to be.
Yeah, I have Priscilla Presley. I've got Hondo Gremlin Rodriguez. Got Farrah Fawcett. Then I got Cash Money.
What are all those? What are they all different dog types?
German Wirehair Pointer and 3 field-bred English Cockers.
Are they all in the house?
All of them. Yeah.
Well, those cockers don't really shed, do they?
No, that German doesn't really either.
Really?
She just gives me lip.
Yeah, well, hey, you know.
9.
Drag her by the short hair.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, thanks for doing this, man.
Man, it's good to be here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Was this good enough?
Yeah,
I
man.
need to get tied in on this mic. Cool.
No, it'll be totally good. In the Elvis green room,
Yeah.
I can't imagine the things that happen in here.
Yeah, I think they've renovated it. Probably had to get all the sperm out of here.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Do you just paint over it?
Hazmat suits, a lot of mops.
Elvis sperm?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, they probably should have just sold it. They could have made more.
Probably.
You know, sold the walls or something.
Yeah, I bet the ceilings have seen a lot. Still a little popcorny.
Asbestos.
Asbestos. Asbestos, we not talk about that.
Asbestos. So are we allowed to talk about your record?
No? I'm not going to give any dates, but I do. Yeah, I've got a record coming, one in the can.
And it's like, oh, it's done.
Yeah,
Done.
it's mastered.
And you shot it over you tracked it in.
Tracked it some in Nashville, then most of it in Tyler, Texas, with Ryan Tyndall, one of my dear friends. Yeah.
But has he produced much stuff for you before?
No, him and I were raised in the same church in Tyler, and he moved back, and we met back up. He'd been doing all the stuff for Eric Church forever.
Oh.
And he moved back to Tyler. He wrote Springsteen and all those songs. So he did real well. So hopefully some of these will go like that.
No kidding. Yeah. Well, I heard some of them. They freaking rip.
Well, thank you, brother.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Hell yeah. Well, where to start?
I know it's actually interesting because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of stuff going on in the industry.
Oh yeah,
especially on my side of the equation, like in the cowboy world.
Mm-hmm.
It's as popular as it's ever been, and so everybody's. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
A lot of falsettos.
Marty Robbins is back, baby.
Well, sort of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what I like about the industry right now is that real songs are kind of getting nods again. You know, real good country songs. You know, my old managers used to say, Cauthen, you got to earn your ballads. And now it's like, you know, it's not just about high BPM.
Who told you that?
One of my old managers. You got to earn your ballads. Which, in a way, he's not wrong. You know, you go up there and sing sleepy-ass songs the whole time, you're not going to have a crowd really pumped up. So.
Yeah, what was the transition between some, like, folkier stuff that you were doing and then things that, I don't even necessarily know how to describe it, but it's definitely funk influenced.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I enjoyed James Brown just as much as I enjoyed George Jones, you know? So I try to, you know, my whole goal is that all people can jam out to my music, not just white country folk, you know? White, you know? Not just that. And I like all types of people in my shows. So I've never tried to just pigeonhole and call myself a country artist. Yeah, I wear a cowboy hat, but don't mean I'm a cowboy or anything. But, you know, I'm just trying to write songs that are honest and mean something to me. you know, that, whether that's a ballad or a banger, you never know.
Yeah, I went through a phase of when I started, obviously just writing songs alone on my acoustic guitar. It was very singer-songwriter-y driven.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how you got to cut your teeth, I think.
And then anymore, it's like I just want to go into the studio with some dope players and just get a groove and get a vibe and like great tones and great sounds. And I'm not that worried about writing something
Yeah.
lyrically. And like now, if like the music just isn't that inspiring or doesn't do anything for me, I'm a little bit uninterested in it. Which has been
Yeah, you got to like trudge through the trenches, I guess, to find what really kind of makes you tick. And I believe that, I mean, you have to feel it for it to be real to you. And in order for, I guess, it to be real for the audience, is that there's got to be a authenticity and honesty about it,
for sure.
and writing those 3-chord songs and lyrically driven, trying to say something, trying to make your voice heard in the beginning is the purest form of what you are. And that's kind of like with the record that I'm going to drop next is kind of what I come back to, just full circle back to what songs just mean something to me, mean something about my upbringing, what I'm about, rather than trying to sell something that works or, you get caught up in, once I had the big hit Cocaine Country Dance and everybody wanted that, and so you can get caught up in just following what works, and it kind of puts the blinders on what the true you is,
Do you think there was noise around you at that point that was pushed?
I wouldn't say noise, but definitely people pitching what I should do, how I should do it, songs I should do, vibes. More people are pitching me songs to cut that's already written now that I don't really do. I did one on my new record that Jeff Hyde and Ryan Tyndall wrote, but that's the only time I've really ever covered a song, So I just believe it's got to be real and true and honest, and that's kind of how it works for me. I mean, even though there's a lot out there that's all prefabricated and and is Morgan Wallen going to do a whole freaking record of ballads? No. Is he going to do a Marty Robbins Western kind of thing? No, because he knows what works. It's like Levi's jeans or Jinko jeans, his is Levi's and you're going to stick to the Levi's, and it's already built so big to a point where you can't, you're kind of stuck in that. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, like he couldn't just go in there and have a gospel kind of choir and hymn acoustic broken down. He could, but I don't know if that's what his fans came to that arena to see.
It is weird. What a double-edged sword. Because if you don't
once it hits, whatever breaks that, people at a Bob Seger show wanted to hear Turn the Page.
But what an example of somebody that really did some different sounding stuff.
Oh yeah,
time.
Bob Seger is freaking one of my favorites.
Oh, he's my top 3.
Silver bullet, dude.
I speculate too that when I say underrated, people just don't talk about him all that much for as successful as he is. And my theory is that because he owned most of his music,
he owned all his stuff, and he didn't ever really care, and that's what I loved about it. He just knew that he had those genuine fans. He beat up the road. He did it the right way, which I did. I'm lucky because I really don't need much help with any of it. I don't need too much, big. I don't need 2 18-wheelers and box trucks and 4 Prevos. I can go get it done in a van if I need to and go take the money home,
I've seen you play with multiple iterations in your band.
Yeah.
And every time it's so tight and grooves so hard.
Yeah, it's just my musical director, Matt McDonald's been with me for over a decade, and him and I have been through all the bands together, and we just know exactly how we want it to sound at all times.
So do you try to when you get new guys in the mix, do you really try to push them and critique them?
I mean,
or do you...
We have recordings of our old bands and stuff, and so we'll be like, these are the vibes we want at this level. And then if anything, we just try to perfect it, what we've had every year. It's just gets a little better.
Well,
Whether it's not even about the musician, it's just about the music's evolving live and the parts are coming, the segues, and it just all kind of snowballs into what the sound is. So we just follow it, kind of like a lantern being lit in the dark. You just follow it, you know.
so you don't get too wrapped up in making them exactly like the record. You allow
Hell
them
no, dude. It's
to.
boring. It makes it no fun to me. I like, some of the songs definitely call for that. You just stick to the record, stick to how it's done. But I mean, live, it's the whole experience of a live show is to actually see something maybe you've never heard before, you know, so,
To a degree.
to a degree. I mean, you don't just, I don't just make Still Driving a freaking rap song all of a sudden. It's just like, you know, but to add a double time on the solos and have a big outro and have a jam section and different parts, it's fun, and you only get to see that live. And I will do a live record, but that'll be down the road. I've got a few in the bag, but that are
Yeah, that's
different.
actually fascinating. You've never done a live record.
I have a live at Green Hall, and
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a whole record that I did in Muscle Shoals, and I've got a bunch of different live stuff, but that'll come, and those bands were so great, and everybody, I always said, I'll tip my hat to everybody that's been a part of my band or in my band from the beginning. They've helped make it to what it is now. They helped, with the foundation, and then we got the walls, then we got the sheetrock, and now we're building the roof, and like everybody's helped, so, and nobody, we don't have bad blood. Nobody that's not in the band. There's not any bad blood. So
Yeah, well, you've been pushing the ship forward and steering the ship for a long time just
yeah,
on your own.
no doubt.
So it does create a different dynamic, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
At least with guys getting weird when they have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the type that like calls people and gets rid of them like straight up, or is
Yeah,
it?
I'll just, or they'll a lot of them will have chose to, do other things and
Yeah.
get off the road and be more studio musicians. And, there's just been a lot of different changes, but like I said, it's never been out of ill will or, you know, a lot of them have seen me in some of my darkest times. There's a lot of regrets I have as a leader of a band that I've learned to be better at, but it's just all growing, nobody's perfect,
No,
you know,
that's no
including the
question.
boss, so,
Yeah.
and been through a lot getting here, but now that I've arrived and can keep the lights on and keep, food on the plate, I, that's all I ever wanted to do. So I don't care how much bigger it gets, I've already arrived to the point where if I can't make a living doing what I'm doing at this point, I'm kind of a piece of shit, get thousands and thousands of dollars to go play music for a living, like figure it out. So,
Yeah, it's a wild time that we're living in.
yeah.
Uh, but you started before social media really had its
Yeah,
big takeoff.
my first manager said, "Oh, we don't need to worry about that Facebook crud. We radio, 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 radio. We're going to print CDs."
What year is it? Like around?
That's like freaking 2007. I started on the road, '07. So probably 10, 11, right around in there. Then Facebook was like right around there too. So
Oh, were you cranking it out on Facebook or?
no, we weren't
Yeah,
because management was like,
MySpace.
yeah, we went MySpace, all that stuff. Pretty archaic. Been around, been on the road a long time. So
Yeah, but now the built-in crowd is pretty well gone.
yeah, I had people tell me in the beginning, very important, you know, you got to win them over one handshake at a time. And in the beginning, I stood by that merch booth and I shook everybody's hand, took every picture to the point where I don't have enough time to do it now. So I'm just thankful that it's built up to where it's at.
I've had some guys at a pretty high level tell me they never went out to the merch booth when they were starting out because they thought that they needed an element of mystery. But there's certain venues I play in that I just cannot. I would have to be a total douche to not go out there and shake hands or hang out.
Man, it's whatever works. Mystery. You can read me like an open book. It's all in the papers. Oh shit. I've been every which way, screwed up, upside down, ragged, all of it. No, I mean, just finally kind of I got stability right around COVID to where, I just felt good about where I was, and newly married. Now I've got my wife's, we got a baby boy on the way, and just everything's in perspective. Just being thankful for the gig, thankful for even the agents, the talent buyers, the people that I've tried not to screw over, been intentional about doing right by. There's a reason why I can continue to do business. When people pay me a bunch of money to go play a show, they sell a shitload of alcohol and they make a bunch of money. And that's why they asked me to come back.
Sure.
So it's like, I'm just going to continue to keep my head down and try to keep the noise out and, work with people I believe in. On this new album, I've worked with a couple of different artists that I believe are some of the best singers in country music that are young and some, so I'm just always trying to use my platform now to help others and not just wave my own flag all the time, it's
Exhausting, though.
it's such a self-serving business. And you'll notice, and I've noticed the people that weren't there, that were all up on me, needing some help and stuff. Then they caught a little flame here or there, and then they just don't even talk to you anymore. They big time you, And I'm not a big timer. I've never been that. If you can't get real with me, I don't think you can get real because, I mean, I'm kind of like an open book when it comes to just being honest, real, true. What I say is what I'm going to do. I've had to cancel gigs because of health and all types of stuff like that. But I went back and I did the deals with those promoters and I made it right this whole past year. All the shows that I canceled, I finished up and made it right. I don't like to.
Has there been some weirdness with people around you with what you've been going through health wise? Have there been some people?
Yeah, I've fired a lot of people because of it.
Because of their reaction to it?
Of the way that I was treating myself, the way that I wanted to do it. I had stage 2 papillary carcinoma, cancer in the thyroid, and doctor said that I need to go get it cut out. And then I found out that you can go hoarse for life and lose your voice, and there's a lot of different things that can happen. And I was like, well, I'm definitely not gonna be able to pay the mortgage if I lose my voice. So I was like, well, let me look into a different route. So I went a holistic route. And I'm not saying this is for everybody. It's a personal choice. I'm not here to talk bad about somebody that does go get the surgery or not. It's everybody's own journey in that situation. And it's very serious. But I lost about 30 pounds. I changed my diet up. I started taking ivermectin and fenbendazole and methylene blue and vitamin D3, infusions of vitamin C, and doing sonograms every 2 to 3 months. And so far, my tumor's calcified and it's shrunk by, substantially. And when your tumor's calcified, it means your body's trying to rid it from your body. So your body's a strong son of a bitch. So I'm just gave it a chance, and I do a lot of sauna and infrared and just been doing all this stuff, and
you dropped a ton of weight, didn't you?
Yeah. I was almost 290 pounds. 10 away from the big 3. And I was like, my top button of my jeans is screaming uncle. About to pop.
Did it?
Pop? Yeah. My buttons definitely popped. This button could never stay, but if I breathe out, I could just open up, dude.
I mean, it's not a terrible party trick, to be honest.
I definitely still use that. I was at the country club We drank too much wine the other night. And the waitress comes up, you need anything else? And I just went, "Run." And she went, "Oh my gosh." I'm surprised I didn't get written
My
up.
God.
I was like, "Yep, I'm all that is man."
With one breath.
One breath, just push. Yeah, you know, big boys, we got some tricks.
We got some tricks.
Yeah. Yeah, you skinny guys have to jump around the shower to get wet.
I just, dude, I can't put it on. I cannot put on weight, dude.
Dude, come stay at my house.
My gosh.
We'll feed. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
We'll feed you full of chicken fried. That's what it is. Chicken fried.
Yeah, I don't
mash.
eat any fried food.
Well, there's a big reason why you're skinny.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I saw that. You had a fillet at breakfast. Jesus.
Yeah,
I'll,
you
have
had
I'll have a rare fillet with potatoes. I'm like, I'm having the pork ragu bolognese carbohydrate.
Yeah, which I don't.
You said I'll fall asleep. I was like, boy, this is fuel for me.
Yeah, well, I think the giant bowl of pasta is weirder than the steak.
I loved it. Yep. And you know, this whole the industry's funny. You know, it's like they fixate on the good deeds and then they do PR stunts on the good deeds and try to make people just look like just the best some good Samaritans all the time, which is great. But you know what? It says in the good book, you know, good deeds are the ones that are behind closed doors.
Yeah, like don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
Exactly. And like I like to try to help people along the way, and I don't need accolades or awards or I don't need to even talk about what I did or who I helped. And I try to just be as good of a man as I can and try to do good by my wife and my family and by my band and my crew and my team. Because without them, I wouldn't be able to eat meat and potatoes or, you know,
Big old bowl of
big
pasta.
a bowl of pasta.
I get it. Do you think sometimes they're covering up for maybe like a dark past or dark secrets or something?
Oh, shit. I guess we all got skeletons in our closet, you know. One of my old buddies used to say, "Boy, if you ever find me dead, please clear my search history on my phone."
We've all got it.
Clear that search history on the phone. Don't let mom or grandma look at it.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, I got you, you dirty pervert. I'll clear your history.
So they do like full PR campaigns to.
Oh, buddy, you just see it, you know. I mean, how many? I don't know. You see it all over the place, and I'm not gonna ever say names anymore because every time I say names, people just get their butts hurt, and I'm just gonna, you know, it'll all come out. You know, people that are, you know, portrayed as being this or actually this, but that's tale as old as time, you know. But I'm proud of the fact that I can say that what you see is what you get. Musically, who I am as a person, you know, I'm a believer in God. I've loved, you know, I live by faith and I live by knowing that I'm a sinner and that I can, you know, do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And, you know, I try not to go to bed with worry or anxiety, you know, that's what kills you. So, and comparing yourself to anybody else's success is just kind of like envy, you know, and we can all we all wish we're bigger and better and cooler than, you know, John Wayne at times, but it's really about who you are when you go into the little supermarket and how you treat the lady bagging your groceries. You know, right there when the camera lens isn't on.
That's when I find out the most about people.
Yeah. You know, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Manners. That's what I love about Texas, you know. Love these little kids, little Jagger Mooney, JB's boy. Yes, sir. No, sir. Just all good mannered kids, raised right.
But
And that's what I want to do, huh?
But wild.
Wild as hell.
Yeah.
It's not going to change anything. And You know, I bet Jesus was wild. God, he was hanging out with the whores and the tramps and the lepers and all this, it was getting wild.
Yeah, it's so easy to say that.
He was
Pastors say it and stuff, but when you really think about, like,
he's the most accepting dude ever.
what did that look
He was-
but he called people,
He'd call y'all, yeah,
you know,
but he would accept.
go and sin no more. Like,
Yeah, but he wouldn't point fingers
yeah,
until, it was time for the reckoning,
yeah.
So I have this poem I've been always kind of lived by, and it's by Walt Huntley. And let me see. And I think it's everything. It's called God's Hall of Fame. It goes, this crowd on earth, they soon forget the heroes of the past. They cheer like mad until you fall, and that's how long you last. But God does not forget, and in his Hall of Fame, but just believing in his Son, inscribed, you'll find your name. I tell you, friends, I would not trade my name, however small, inscribed up there beyond the star in that celestial hall, for any famous name on earth or glory that they share. I'd rather be an unknown here and have my name up there.
So, yeah, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul?
That's exactly right. So that's why I don't really get worked up in all this. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all bullshit. I mean, we can sing and play and entertain, but when you start thinking you're God, or you got this extra power, or you've got this anointment on you, you're a little bit bigger in your own head, it can get a little weird, I think.
Real weird.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that have that, which is fine for them, but not for me. I don't hang out with too many super famous people, and the one that I do hang out with are actually really good humans.
I've noticed people at the very top are
Yeah.
actually sometimes the most chill. It's the ones in the
Oh.
middle trying to just claw.
Dude, guys like, Dierks Bentley, Eric Church, Randy Houser, Lana Del Rey,
Ooh.
even Post Malone. Those people are great people. Martina McBride, Leanne Womack, those are just real humans, And I believe that now it's like you'll hear this name, and then when the lights are off, it's like it's almost bipolar. It's like, who the hell is this? What did I just watch? And now who are you?
It's got like a sinister.
It's a self-loathing, going for fame over going for spreading your gift.
It's like, it seems like a prison to me. That I
Yeah, you're having to play two roles. It's like Hollywood. You're having to act. A lot of people are acting, which is fine. It's just, and I'm not going to spend this whole time just saying that there's a lot of fake people out there, because there's genuinely great people out there.
I've said this multiple times now. Somebody said to me the other day that the most authentic thing somebody can acknowledge is how inauthentic they really are. Because we're all just, every person is full of shit to a degree. You can think that you're like so unique and eclectic, and
People think that I'm just racking up lines of cocaine in my bathtub every day.
Well,
And people think that I'm just freaking drunk and shit-faced every day. I was in my hotel room at 6 p.m. last night. All my boys were out hammering it up, having a good time. I was talking to my wife and kicking back and knowing that I've got 3 shows in a row and I got to take care of myself and bring home some bacon, or we're not going to have anything to eat for Christmas.
yeah, not to mention the people that like buy tickets and they're there
Come
to see
see-
the show. Like,
Exactly.
I want to put it on.
It's exactly what it is. So, we're all just granules of sand in the desert, and when one shakes, we can all tremble into a hole. Or if we sit there and we support each other, we can actually stick around for a while.
I do find in the music industry that people actually are relatively supportive of each other,
Yeah,
more so than some other industries, like the rodeo world and the horse world.
that's why I love it.
It gets pretty nasty, to be honest.
Oh yeah, as far as the competitors,
Well, see, that's the funny thing is like a lot of the competitors actually aren't that weird with each other. It's like the people around it, like whether you're like a rodeo announcer, or like a stock contractor, or like that stuff starts.
They're all just wanting to keep their job.
Or trainers, horse trainers. I mean, they are freaking cutthroat.
Yeah.
Like the idea of my wife trains barrel horses, so young like futurity horses, and the idea of training a horse, the owner just yanks it out from underneath you, sends it to somebody else. They're successful with the horse. Take all the credit of training the horse. Like, don't acknowledge you at all. It would be like co-writing a song with somebody, or writing a song and somebody cuts it, and you don't ever acknowledge them, give them no credit. That happens every day in the horse industry.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. They just burn bridges and don't give credit. And
everybody's after the dollar when it comes down to it.
Yeah, so I can shit on the music industry, but like by and large, like everybody's pretty. I mean, there's a dark side to it, but compared to some other industries, like think about if you were like like on Wall Street or something.
Yeah.
Like that would be
son of a bitch. I'd hate that. I'd hate it.
An HR nightmare for them.
God. I don't ever want to have to say HR.
You're the guy that somebody comes and talks to your HR.
Yeah, if they say, Paul, we're going to have to talk to HR. Well, I'm going to be like, well, don't even have to talk to him because I did it. I fucked up. That's me. My bad. Don't even need to talk to HR.
Have you worked in like any sort
Hell no. I worked at freaking Discount Tire.
You did?
Busting down tires, and I surveyed land and, worked in the oil field a little bit, doing some stuff here and there, but nothing worth a damn. I mowed yards, had a good landscaping little business going in high school, but man, I picked up my guitar, and at 18, 19 years old, I knew that was what I was going to do. And going off to college, got kicked out, moved to Colorado in a brown van, and started writing songs.
How long were you up there?
5 years.
Whoa. Just writing?
4, some change. Writing, cut my teeth with a bunch of bluegrassers and stuff up there, and taking acid and frolicking with the hippies and the Wookiees, trading weed for turquoise.
What did that do for you? Not the turquoise, but writing up there.
I mean, it was just being around a bunch of badass pickers. It'll humble you real quick, Got to cut your teeth and get good and hop on or jump off the train because this sumbitch is moving.
So that would have been super. You were like on the very front end of a lot.
Yeah, I turned 21 in Colorado. So,
and that's before a lot of like the big American.
I turned 20 in jail, 21 in Colorado.
What'd you go to jail for?
Weed.
Just in Colorado?
Texas.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't like it much. Still don't.
Still don't.
Yeah, it's up to the cop's discretion. I hope that my cop, whoever he is, when he pulls me over, got laid that morning. Or her get laid that morning. I hope they're in a good mood. Hope they've had their coffee. And hope they're saying, Mr. Cauthen, we see that this is in one bag, and we believe that this is your personal. I'll be like, yep, it is. But it smells like you're smuggling skunks in here, and you don't need to be lighting it up on the road. We're going to let you go.
Ironically, Oklahoma's more conservative than Texas.
Yeah, but they're making money on that weed, bud.
True.
Them Okies need to make money on something out there. Casinos and fucking weed.
Nothing going on.
I mean, there's some good farming and ranching, but, my boy lives up in Sherman, Texas. My best buddy, Whitey. And he goes up to Oklahoma with his buddy, and he comes back with his weed, boy, and he's got the fire. I got the fire from Mountain Durant. It is good.
Durant.
Durant.
That's how you know they're from there.
Yeah.
Durant. Old Choctaw Casino.
No doubt. Yeah, he took me I went to cockfights out in the Williford Woods. Buddy.
Where's Williford? Is that by?
Like, if I know, I'll never go back. I'll tell you that. I took my wife.
Well,
it was not good, dude.
No, well, I mean, that's an automatic. If you go to a cockfight.
Excuse me. Sorry, I went to a cockfight. Yep. PETA, serve me. I don't give a shit. Talk to my lawyer. He's very expensive, but he will take care of it.
Had you been to one before?
No. But
I've never been to one.
It is my first one, and it's my last. I'm good on that. They blow air into their mouths and shit, and blow air into their assholes to try to keep these birds alive. And when they started doing that, I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
What do you mean to keep them alive?
Dude, they'll keep them going because they got money on the line. So there'd be a rooster on the ground that's got shredded up by these freaking, they got these hooks and stuff taped to their legs. And they'll hook up and they'll flutter. And you're like, oh, that's kind of fucking cool. And then one will get sliced to shit and blood will start gushing out. I'm like, well, this is a little bit X-rated. And then all of a sudden, dude, you're freaking, there's a boy that looks is inbred as can be. Looks like the dueling banjos, like the in Deliverance or whatever, like that kid. That's what it looked like. So that kid comes in and he picks up that rooster that's fucking dead, dude. I'm like, that rooster ain't got much left, and picks that rooster up and grabs it and blows air into its asshole and air into its fucking mouth. And those sons of bitches will come back to life. Buddy, I looked at my wife. I had my fucking 45 in my pocket. I had my 45. I kept my damn gun with me. I didn't know what this place is about, and I'm glad I have my gun. These guys would go, and the judge, dude, come in there barefoot, He had, this was the nastiest shit I've ever been to, and I took my damn wife, and I felt like, I'm like, what in the fuck have I done? What have I done? This is awful. This is bad. I'm going to hell for this. So we go and, they're blowing air into the asshole of the rooster. And I'm just like, well, we've crossed the bridge of Babylon here and we're off into the gates of hell any minute. This is the beginning. It's like, whatever. This is the abyss. And some bitch comes back alive. We'll fight. Come on, there's Molly. Come on, there's Molly. Come on, you some bitch. Do it, rooster. Do it. They're screaming at each other. Feathers going over there, and then bam, lethal hit, and don't just drop it. Put it in a big old rooster pile of dead roosters. And the little kids are rolling around from the rafters wearing no shoes. Like, that was the biggest thing. They're all like Walmart baby feet, like dirty ass kids.
Even the judge. So the judge would leave for a while and I'd be like, well, when's the next fight? I was like, God dang, well, I'm just pounding whiskey just to get through this. Like, it was like watching your sister give birth or something, It's just something you don't ever see. Seriously, something you don't ever want to see. Don't ever go. It is hell, and it should. And I'm glad it's illegal. It should be. They that
got
needs
that
to
one
happen
right.
in the dark corners.
And so I'm like, where's the goddamn lanky ass Gumby looking some bitch? Good judge that's drooling. Well, that some bitch comes back and he's like this. And I'm like, oh. So I look at my boy. My boy's like, he's been rolling coal. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, that some bitch is methed out. I said, when do you get the fuck out of here? And so we're like, hey, we're going to go get some beer out of the truck. And boy, did I Irish goodbye that some bitch. We got out of there. So that's something I have never told anybody. I wasn't going to tell anybody. Now a lot of people are going to know that I went to a cockfight. But
so that was
dude, that was it. That's it for me. I'm not an advocate whatsoever. Don't go.
No.
Folks, do not go. Don't go.
It's a PSA.
There's some shit. There's a lot of them going out there in Oklahoma. A lot of them, dude. They've got the gray rooster. Man, I got money on that gray. I'll take the red one. All right, you want to go down? So I was like, I'll put 20 on it. They went, whoa, now we ain't doing that too much.
Psycho.
I was like, $20? I was like, fuck.
You get gaslit at the cockfight.
Yeah, like you can only bet 5. I said, we're going to kill 38 chickens tonight for $11. I mean, what the fuck are y'all doing out here? Thought y'all were trying to gamble. It's awful. I'll never go back. And then I hear, then they're like, hey, next week we got the dogs coming out. I said, buddy, I only like Michael Vick on the football field.
Yeah, no.
I'm good.
The dogs get way less funny.
I'm not going to that. I mean, I could barely handle the damn rooster. You think I can handle 2 pit bulls chewing each other's throats out? No, dude, I'm good. My wife was not too thrilled. We left that son of a bitch. She said, what did I just see? And I said, I'm sorry. I said, I didn't know. was like, I'm a virgin at this too, baby. But I swear to you this. And she said, what? I said, we will never do that again.
You kept your promise.
Oh, hell yeah. I won't go anywhere close to that.
Because that was, well, I mean, you still got.
I mean, I'd still like to go see those people if they were having like a, eating cabrito or something, like burying a goat or something, whatever the hell they eat. None of them look like they ate in a while. I bet they eat fucking rooster because they had tons of that. I was wondering, I was like, on our way back, from wherever the fuck in Oklahoma, we're driving back and I'm with my wife wearing her fucking Lexus. She's a new freaking badass Lexus. I'm like, I'm glad I got my 45 because I feel like we're about to get ganked up in this sumbitch. And they're all just like, so who are you? Where you come from? I'm like, fuck, dude. I said San Antonio. I just lied. I'm not telling you where I'm from, Bubs.
Here's my personal address.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please come visit.
Please.
Yeah. Bring your roosters.
Tell your mom and them.
Yeah. Out on rooster fights.
So that was last Tuesday.
That's yesterday.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was on the plane flight over.
Buddy.
It's a little different than Soul Plane.
That's just something that nobody needs to go see. And I regret even telling anybody, but like I said, I really don't give a shit.
I will say that is 100% hands down the hardest I've laughed on this podcast.
Well, you don't want to get out there in them woods, in them Oklahoma woods. I don't even want to say where it is again because I'm scared them sons of bitches are going to be like,
God
hey,
dang, dude.
they blew our cover.
You're so freaking funny, man.
He
What
blew
a
our
character.
cover. We're going to get him. Wake up.
You did
Yeah.
you did say where it was at.
Yeah.
I don't remember though.
Me neither. It'll be on your podcast.
I got my court reporter over there
Yeah. Right.
sketching it out. He was having a hell of a time drawing the picture.
Yeah, it was something else.
Were you bigger than life performer like when you were a little kid? Were you just freaking?
Oh, yeah, dude. Singing David Ball. Yes, I admit I got a drinking problem. Yeah. Yeah, that was my jam.
Performing for the family.
Performing for the family, dude. Busting it out. We'd go to Church of Christ on Sunday mornings and we'd
Oh,
sing
scandalous.
Johnny Cash in the evenings with the guitar. We bust the guitar out.
That's a big deal.
Big deal. I got, I took a guitar into a Church of Christ once. You can talk about
Turned into a pillar of salt.
pretty much. I'm still gathering myself after that. All the deacons came out and gave me the get the hell out of this place with that. It was a thing.
You just walked in with it?
Yeah, I was actually just in the gymnasium. I'm not going to say which one. It was just one of them. But they know. The ones that have watched this, they'll know who told me to get the hell out of there with the guitar because, it's not allowed to have instruments in the church, which is fine. But
You can't even have an instrument in there.
no, but it says in Revelations,
Trumpets?
the trumpets will sound and the dead shall rise. I mean, it's like, wow, I guess it's just,
Well, in the Old Testament playing harps and like all angels playing.
hell yeah. I mean, I hope my angels are playing Stranglehold by Ted Nugent when I come to heaven. Hope the Nuge is ripping when I get up into the gates.
Ironically, same song that was playing at the cockfight.
No, they didn't have a speaker out there or Wi-Fi. Yeah, if anything, yeah, I didn't hear one. I just heard screaming rednecks yelling about the roosters, blowing air in roosters' asses, and I was like, "This is happening." And then them kids, were keeping them, "Come on, boy!" They had blood all over their mouth and shit.
Oh my
Like, well, thanks for coming. Want to give you a hug? I'm like, stay the fuck back, bro.
Dude,
I'll tell you what, that's a way to build up your immune system. Go drop them off in the Williford Woods. 100%. God bless them. And if y'all see this, nothing against you. That's y'all's. That's your way, and they have fun doing it. But I'm pro-life with roosters.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear that in the morning than nobody gets an alarm clock anymore around those woods. I'll tell you that. There is no.
I still think the most disturbing part is blowing the
Yeah.
air into their ass.
in their mouth. They'll get that little gullet underneath their chin. And fucking, ugh. I still have nightmares. I can't even believe I even told you.
Dude, that is so funny.
Well, I mean, shit. I've been to a lot of county fairs. Been a lot of, a lot of shows, cattle auctions. Been a lot of shit. I've seen animals breeding, seen animals being born. You ain't seen shit until you go to one of them rooster fights. Don't go. Next, we can talk about something else. Good Lord, we keep on coming back to the rooster, dude. Here comes the rooster.
Yeah, we ain't gonna die.
We ain't gonna die. No. They are gonna die.
Did you know
The
that
roosters will die.
that song's about Vietnam?
Yeah, it's about his dad. His dad or the uncle they called him the rooster.
Yeah, he was like a helicopter pilot.
Yeah, he was a badass. What a song.
Crazy. Man, those types of not to get too technical, but like those modal type songs that were in the grunge stuff melodically, where they flowed in between that major and minor and stuff.
Something in the way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's gone away for a while.
Yeah.
At least in rock, like you just don't hear that anymore.
Yeah. Attention span shorter. If it ain't a 15-second TikTok clip, you're fucked.
Yeah, they're not gonna wait on that rooster
No,
drop.
They can't. They can't wait on the rooster. I mean, you can wait. Get out there to the Williford Woods. You don't need to wait on no roosters either. Them fuckers are gonna die. It's gonna make that song a farce. Yeah. Believe me. They are gonna die.
They are gonna die.
Yeah.
They're for sure gonna die. So they didn't do that at the Church of Christ.
Nope. No cockfighting's there. But a lot of, pulling on your soul, which is good. I'm thankful I was raised in the church because it allowed me to create a moral compass. I think anybody who's radical in any way or religion or type or politics, whatever it is, if you're radical and you believe this is the end all be all, I think you might need to check yourself.
Well, so when you say, I can't remember exactly what you said. You said create your own moral compass. Is that what you said?
No, it helps align your moral compass.
Okay.
Well, just love your neighbor as yourself. Like do unto others as you'd want them to do unto you. Just the certain things of kindness and, being a humble servant of the Lord. You thing about me is, there's even family members that are like, why do you cuss? Why do you do this? And I was like, because I'm a common man. I'm not here to say that I'm Jesus. I'm not here to say that I'm holier than thou. I'm here to say that it's okay to be a struggling sinner and live with light in your heart. I'm here to say that.
Well, then what about grappling with the idea of the call to change? Like, it's not that the idea that you become sinless, but like the idea that you might sin less, right? Can't like continue on doing the exact same things over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, repeat offenders, you don't learn from your mistakes. It's kind of, you might be in a whole heap of trouble there, but
yeah,
just better yourself every day, but don't beat yourself up. Like I have a problem beating myself up. My wife is like, I just wish you would just love yourself more. A lot. She's talked to me about it, and I struggle with it.
In which way?
And because, like what you just said, I think it's like a guilt, to be better, but to be like Jesus, and it's impossible. That's a never-ending mountain that you're going to try to climb. So being content and having a heart with servitude, and I think that's the way, in my opinion.
What's the best way you find contentment? Is that an active thing or?
That's just an everyday battle. As far as like business and all that, I'm content right now. I'm very content, but I'm not content on what I am as a human before I bring a boy into this world with my wife. I want to be this is the biggest part of my whole journey right now is about to happen. I'm about to turn 40 years old in April. And then right a month later, I'm going to have my first son. So,
Has that already flipped a switch for you?
yeah, it's just, I kind of do. My boys are like, well, it's our last rodeos. I was like, well, there's a lot of last rodeos happening right now,
Yeah.
but it's just, I really am going to put an impression on a soul. And I want him to be a God-fearing, loving, respectable human. And I want him to cherish a woman one day and lift her up and be better than me. And I believe if we did that with our kids, I think the generations wouldn't get worse, they'd get better. And it's our job to learn from our mistakes and instill into our children those, let them know what those are and how they can learn from yours. And so they don't have to go through that road of heartache or any of that, So, and I've been through a lot, so I've got a lot to teach. But, my nieces and nephews, they always confide in me. My two sisters, my oldest sister has 4 kids and my youngest sister has 5. And so
Jeez.
I've been an uncle for a long time. My oldest
So just
my
two.
oldest nephew is at Texas A&M, and he's called me and confided in me, and I believe that I've made an impression, but that's just being an uncle. And so now that I've got my son coming, it's just even more important to me. That's my new job. It's not about hustling down country radio or hustling down a concert. Like, I'm going to go and play those things because I've got my boy and my wife to, they come first.
Yeah. Do you find contentment is difficult to explain to people? Because oftentimes they take it
Well, don't become stagnant.
right.
Being content is to be still. And that you don't gain ground and build on your soul just being satisfied and thinking that you're just got everything figured out.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what contentment is.
What do you think?
I think it's just a humble appreciation for where you're at now.
Yeah, definitely. Always
Which doesn't
being
mean that doesn't mean that you don't want to
excel even
achieve
further.
anything else.
Yeah, just being thankful for the moment now. Yes, I believe that's very important. But to always push yourself to find that the weak link in your character, or just build as you go.
What do you
Don't
think?
be hard on yourself. Too hard to where it
Too hard.
implodes into
Yeah.
where you become depressed, which I fault. That's one of my biggest struggles is
Depression.
yeah, just beating myself up. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? God, I should have done this. I should have done that. When really it's wasted emotion.
So is it a mental battle that you just fight through, or is there something you do to snap yourself out of that mode?
Well, my wife's helped me get through it the most lately. Um, it's definitely a mental battle, and I think a lot of it has to do with some of the being indoctrinated in a certain belief in a very conservative upbringing, church upbringing, and coming from, preachers and ministers, and, just living with a little bit of guilt. Burned it up one night too late with my boys. The next day, I feel bad about it, but we had the most belly laughs, had a good time. One of our boys talks about something he hadn't talked about in a while, got a bunch of stuff off his chest, and it really was like therapeutic, even though my head hurts this morning. But, I think there's grace there to be had.
And then there's other times it does just get out of control. And it's
Yeah,
like,
and I've been there. I've been the tornado in the room, but I still will be a tornado. I won't change when it comes to that. I'm still going to pick and choose my battles, though. In my 20s in this business, I was tore up, searching for me, searching for my sound, searching for my identity. now that I've found it, who I am, I think now it's just to just be honest and give those people who paid money and traveled to come see me the best show I can every night and to come home to my wife. Uh,
What do you think your 20-year-old self would think about musically? How do you think if you were to show him like your record or like that new music that you just showed me, what do you think like when you started your 20-year-old self, what he was going for at that time? If you showed him some of those songs, what would he say about them?
Damn, your shit's badass. Yeah.
He'd like it.
Hell yeah, he'd like it.
Really?
Oh yeah. Now you show me my 20-year-old self stuff. I'm like, God, what was I doing there? Because I was learning on who I was, That's when I kind of get the heebie-jeebies hearing me
Okay.
growing into myself,
Let me ask it differently.
Well, 10,000 cigarettes ago.
Yeah.
And 500 bottles of whiskey or whatever, 5,000 bottles,
So
it was different.
do you think he would be surprised?
No, I don't think he'd be surprised. I think he'd be surprised with the success that I've had. Because all I wanted to do was really just, I remember playing the Pootie's Hilltop out towards Dripping Springs for $100 and a cheeseburger. And we thought we had it made, and there was a 4-piece band, Each get $25 and a cheeseburger and get all the long necks we wanted. Have a little bit of money for breakfast the next day and hopefully have another gig, It started there.
Then right after that, you went to Colorado?
No, this was after Colorado. Colorado, I was
Oh.
broke shit, dude.
Yeah. Then you moved back home.
Moved back home, started Sons of Fathers, that old band.
Yeah.
And that started in like 2010, went to 2010 to 14. 14, I started my own solo career. Paul Cauthen went with it, my full name.
All your stuff seems to be just like 5 years ahead of what the major popular trends are.
I've been told that, but the thing about it is it's still there. So all the stuff that's hot right now that sounds like my old records, people are hopping on them. So I don't think of it like that. I try to think of it just I am who I am, and this is where I'm at.
Yeah, but does it ever feel a little bit lonely creatively
No,
being ahead of the trend?
no, dude. I don't like who likes to hop on a freaking wave of foam that's already hit the freaking
Sure,
the
but
shore. I
no
like to
no
get
question. It's easier to be confident in what you're doing if everybody is around like going, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is it, right?
Yeah, I believe, honestly, after Room 41 and that record and it popped off and my life changed. And Room 41 was one of the darkest moments of my life. I was just had a bunch of demons and I needed to write myself out of a certain funk I was in. I'd just gone through the biggest heartache of my life and I just wrote myself out of that. And that was the first time I realized I was like, man, me being unapologetically me is what works. Because there's only one me. There's only one Jarrod. So it's like, it's not about what all this noise is around. It's when you are totally getting through something as a human, as a person, and it actually helps you, it's going to help others.
Where'd you write Room 41?
In Room 41 at the Belmont Hotel in Dallas, Texas. My buddy Jordan Ford owned that hotel, and I left a relationship and moved into a suite, and he let me stay at the suite for almost 2 years. I lived out of a hotel. Wildest times of my life. Should not be alive. Would I take it back? No. But would I do it again? Hell no.
You think it was necessary?
Oh, yeah. God doesn't put anything in front of you that you can't overcome with faith, In those darkest moments, I always still had the Lord in my heart. And I was mindful of being in a bad place. And my prayer has always been, Lord, I know I'm a vessel. I know you've given me a gift. Just let me use it for your will and whatever that might be. Trigger my heart, trigger the hearts of others that hear it. And if there's just one person here tonight that I touch, I've done my job.
Are there times that you've felt distant though?
What from?
God.
Yeah, but mindfully distant. Where I know, Paul, you're off in the coals over here when you should probably find your true north again.
So do you feel like he does something to pull you back?
Yeah, it's just what I call everybody's Jiminy Cricket. That's what God is, It's that inner pulling. You got to listen, though. Oh,
Yeah, it's tough.
so tough, dude. It's the struggle of man.
Yeah, David. Yeah, there's a whole laundry list of them.
Yeah, and then you have people that just have hell hit them the whole time. Look at Job.
Crazy.
Perseverance. Teach you a lot of things. And that's what it says. I mean, there's nothing that that's put in front of you that you cannot get through with the Lord. That you can make it. You can get through it. And there's always somebody else worse off. There's so many people that wish that they were talking to you right here. So many people that wish that they could get paid to go play in front of some people, or that some people would just listen.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't it suck that thankfulness seems to be so directly tied to
success?
What do you mean?
Like it's tied like people that are thankful once they've made a shitload of money or something like that.
Oh, well, yeah, it probably is a little bit easier. Yeah, for sure.
It's easier to say, "Oh, thank you," when you have 9 Grammys and 55 buses and 48 18-wheelers. Yeah, it's easy to say thank you, God. It's easy.
I've always thought it was weird when people said, "I'm so humbled." Like they get up there and get an award and they're making all kinds of money and they have all the attention and they go, "I'm just so humbled to get this." I'm like, if anything, this is the opposite. This is just making
There ain't much you need to say in an award thing, man. I give this all to God.
Yeah.
Thankful for the opportunity. Thankful for the fans. Thankful for my family. Be kind to one another. God bless. Peace out.
Well, I guess
Where's the party at?
What I was saying with thankfulness is it's like being thankful for my parents. It's like the only way that I can be truly, deeply thankful, just even sitting there and having dinner with them and talking with them or something, is to think about them being gone or not having them, which I hate. Why can't I just be thankful in the isolation of thankfulness? I don't have to think about the negatives. So in the same way, I'm thankful I freaking don't have to pour concrete or do manual labor to earn a living anymore. But the only way that I'm being thankful is to think about how shitty it could be. Isn't that weird? It's like it's human nature.
It's just looking at different side the coin, looking at both sides. Where there's success, there's failure. Where there's rain, there's sunshine somewhere. Where there's storm, there's peace and beauty and sunshine.
But I guess when you don't have any money and you don't have any success, at least you have hope. So I've noticed people
sometimes it's like scary hope, though. Some people hope too much. Where hope is like just like almost to the point where they're delusional. Remember met those kind of people that get up with their guitar and think they're Garth Brooks and they totally suck, and this person's selling the fucking farm and all granddad's cattle to do it, and you're like, buddy, keep the fucking heifers. There's a lot of that going out there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, this business is a business of 2%, and I'm thankful that I'm within a percentage to be able to, like I said, gallon of gas, a meal, some electricity. So
you think some of it's just not quitting?
Definitely. Mine, I didn't make $1 until about 11, 12 years in. I mean, sold tons of weed, man. I was a weed dealer. That's how I did this. Straight up marijuana. sold hundreds of thousands of pounds of weed. Paid off radio promoters with payola. Cash money. Brother, I did not make this. I made it because of weed. Put that in your fucking documentary. Straight up, dude.
Dude, I want
Okay, so I'm going to tell you how it all went down. Okay, I have not really poured this out, but fuck it. So I had buddies that were all in college, right? I went to jail. So I went out to a Christian school and I got kicked out of there because you can't go to jail and school at the same time. Come to find out. I asked. The county jail's like, yeah, they don't do online classes from the jail. So I got out and I was like, well, fuck, I'm going to move to Colorado. So I got in with my weed guys up there, right? So all my boys were in school at these big state schools, UT, freaking SMU, SFA, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, all UTSA, all of them, right? Well, I'd play the frat gigs, right? And the sorority parties with my boy Red riding behind me with about 10 pounds of weed. And we'd do weed deals, and I'd go and do the circuit, and I'd cover it up by me playing acoustic gigs. And I was just peddling weed the whole time. And so every time I'd come back, pick up the money. And then I'd have my boy Red. He knows his name. I'm just going to call him Red. He's going to laugh when I eat. And we'd re-up and get everybody. I from 2009 to 2015, if you smoked weed in Texas at a college, it was our weed. And
6 years.
Oh yeah, 6 years. I had fucking 150 grand cash on me. You know, and we were moving it. And so I'd go up to Nashville and nobody'd play my fucking records. And I'd meet up with these radio promoters and I'd ask them out for lunch. And they'd already turned down my record. They said it's shit and everything, but boy, did they turn down $10,000 in a brown paper sack. No, record went up into top 15 next week. I get gigs. I get a booking agent. I start fucking just putting all the money into PR. These PR people that I was paying them fucking large cash, dude. I got into this game just like god dang Biggie Smalls. Except I don't sell crack. So that's how I made
But
it.
if you did, though, I mean, you'd be
Good crack salesman.
one of the best.
I would. Never.
Super nice.
My
too.
buddy smoked crack at a fish show. Told me it was pretty intense. Out of a light bulb, of all things.
Out of a light bulb.
That's what he said.
At a fish concert?
Yeah. At a fish concert. PHISH.
Is it the one and only
Trey
time?
Anastasio.
And then he's up for 3 days after that?
Shit if I know.
With
All I know is that I think he stayed on fish tour for the next 12 years until they broke up. And he kicked back and went to, string cheese or widespread or, Medeski Martin and Wood.
I can't think of probably the worst thing to be reverberating in my head days after. I've never smoked meth, but I can imagine the days after.
Man, I think I've done meth a few times. We were thinking it was coke. Once you do that, there ain't no going back. Tell you that. Fuck, that hit a little harder. Train is a rolling. Yeah, I remember coming out of Colorado one time with one of my buddies, and he thought they got some coke or something after a party, and I was like, well, shit, why not? I went in rum, did a line of that shit, and my ears felt like they're bleeding, and my eyes dilated, and train ran through my blood, and I was like, that is not cocaine. And buddy in the back said, oh, shit, I thought y'all wanted crystal. I said, well, fuck me, Billy Bob. It's up for 3 days, watercolor in the goddamn ceiling fan. So I never did that again. Dude. Yeah, dude. It's just, the stories don't end. I got out of the weed game. I still got all my big baller weed guys that send me text messages now that are all health and fitness guys. All the real weed guys that were before when weed was legal are now on like GNCs and shit. It's fucking thing, and CBD companies.
Now they're all
So they'll help me out. They'll be
pretentious.
like, "Hey, fat ass, get up and move today. Get on the treadmill. You need 30 minutes. You're looking chunky in your pictures."
Yeah, they get pretentious at the GNC.
Oh yeah, they're like, "Hey, you taking the vitamins?" Yeah, as much as I can,
Dude, watercolor in the ceiling.
buddy. Freaking dust in the baseboards, looking up for all the nooks and crannies. Tell you.
You had to have, at some point, people had to have told you to do stand up.
Oh man, I just can't stand up that long. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I've thought about it, but I've just, I kind of like singing.
yeah, for sure.
I like singing, and then if that goes to shit, I'll probably Ron White that shit,
dude.
and
Side
then probably
thing.
get sober. But I'm just not done yet. People are like, "Are you getting sober? Are you doing okay? How's your cancer? All that stuff. Are you okay, Shug?" I'm like, "No, I'm just not done yet. It's not done yet. I like to have a good time, and I'm hard on myself for it. Doctor said my liver's good the other day. That's fucking awesome. Numbers are looking good. I'm like, okay, don't say anything else. I'm out. I'm gonna go dirty up the old filter here. No, but it's been a wild ass ride, dude. I've been arrested so many damn times, and jail does not bother me whatsoever. I mean, I had me a little gospel Sunday singing group in jail. I did 86 days in Smith County. And Reverend Al, Old School, Spider. I miss those guys. Rose, all those cats. Man, we'd sit in there on Sundays and just singing, "When we all get to heaven, oh, what a day." Yeah, no, it's good. Those moments you can't get rid of. Character building. Just,
it builds character.
yeah. One time I found out that when I was in jail, I got good I was in the County Road and Bridge Department doing 3 days for one on my 180-day sentence. And
That's a separate time?
no, this was one of my bigger stints. When I say stint, I ain't like Jelly Roll, where you did 11 years for robbing an little old lady in a motorized cart or whatever he did back in the day. No telling. But now he gives enough turkeys to all the penitentiaries, so it works out. But I'll tell you this. I became friends with the boss mans, the guys that were running the County Road and Bridge Department. So I knew how to drive a backhoe. So they put me in that backhoe, and I was busting down culverts in East Texas for free. And they were making me operate for 8 hours. And then we'd come back and do all the stuff. And my friends would see me out there and, working pretty much like on a chain gang. And my buddies would be backwoods and, back riding in their trucks and riding in the back, literally throw beer cans at me and shit. There's Cauthen, whizzing beers at me. And, I found out the next day that we're going to be behind Judge Bill Limmert's County Precinct 2 on 155 in Tyler, Texas. And we were going to be there the next day. So I called my mom from the jail, and I said, "Mom," I said, "tomorrow," I said, "we're going to be at Bill Limmert's there, that old building. We're going to be clearing out that pasture in the back. I want you to go to Whataburger, and I want you to get 25 double cheeseburgers and French fries. And I want you to put it behind Bill Limmert's there and get there about 9, because we're getting there at 10. Don't let the sheriffs or anybody see you do it." So my mom goes to Whataburger and smuggles in cheeseburger. I felt like Andy Dufresne in Shawshank Redemption, giving my buddies a bottle of suds on the roof after tarring that son of a bitch. So we get done with our work, and I see those Whataburger bags. And my buddy Todd, was his name, was the head boss man. And I was like, "Todd, I know that lunch is coming up." And he said, "Yeah, I got to go all the way back to county to go pick y'all's bologna sandwiches up." And I said, "Well, like, I got a little something." And he said, "What, Cauthen, what?" And I said, "Well, I knew that we were coming here. And he's like, what did you do? And I said, well, do you just want to, you see those 2 bags of Whataburger? He said, what the fuck is that? And I said, my mom dropped those off. And I want to feed all these guys here, all these inmates, cheeseburgers from Whataburger. You don't have to go back to the, to the jail and pick us up bologna sandwiches. We can just eat these real quick. Nobody will ever know. He said, Cauthen, y'all got 10 minutes. So I gave out cheeseburgers to 25 inmates that hadn't had a fucking cheeseburger in a while. I was the king of the cell block, my friend. We all ate cheeseburgers. She got the spicy ketchup and everything. We're eating off of the fucking bed of this truck. Merced Castañeda. I'll never forget this Mexican dude with enough teardrops. He was in on state jail time doing 2 day for day, 2 years, day for day. And he took a bite and he says, motherfucker. And he looks at the heavens, dude. And I'm like, that's worth my stay in jail right there.
See?
That man.
Thankfulness.
Thankful.
Contentment.
We're thankful and do good
Whataburger,
deeds.
cheeseburger.
Do good deeds, you know? See? But
hell, dude.
so I got out of that shit and I was like, well, I'm fucked now. You know, I can't get back into school. You know, I can't get a job. So let's do this singing thing. Well, how are we going to pay for it? Well, let's get back to selling weed. So I got some Colorado connections, some California connections. And we ended up really making a lot of money doing it. And that's how I backed my entire career in the beginning. But you got to have cash to do it. I had to have cash to pay the band, go out on the road. It was during that $3.80 and $4 a gallon gas days. You know, shit was expensive back then.
After
08, 09,
yeah,
10.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Freaking oil was killing. Gas was so damn expensive. You know, and I mean, out in California, it was up in 6, 7, 6 a gallon, you know, that time. I remember I'd pay in 20s, boy, with rubber bands.
Just cash money to all
the
guys.
Cash money, dude, under the table.
So you never got popped for
No, I never had the
dealer?
weed on me. As for Red, my boy Red, he'd drop it off. I was the money man and the muscle too. We had to bust out and do some crazy shit, little outlaw shit there in the middle of it. Definitely guns were drawn before, but
On you?
both ways. Little standoffs. Some shit like that's happened. Buddies got robbed by guns and got all our money stolen out in Lubbock. And then one of our guys was a fucking con and he stole all our money and moved down to freaking Houston after Hurricane Harvey and went and stole everybody's money and insurance fraud. And it just was a con. That some bitch is still on the run and he knows who he is. Fuck you. You know who you are. Is TS. Those are his initials. He knows. And everybody who sees this will know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that guy came up with a bunch of bullshit and got our stuff robbed. He says he did. He just stole the weed and stole the money. But the thing about it is this, man. Now that I've been, you know, what you call legit, you know, making real money in the business, all that was just character building. And I'm not scared of any one of these suits, any one of these big famous people, anybody that tells you, oh, like, you can do this, you can do that, all the smoke and mirrors and bullshit, dude, it's everywhere. It's in all businesses too. You hear all these guys get liquored up at night and they get in these guys that have a bunch of money, my rancher buddies, and they got these drunk fuckers in their ears telling them that they can get them this many head of cattle. And you don't talk about that shit at night. You don't talk about that shit when you're liquored up. If you're smart, you understand when it's time to talk business, when it's time to be legit, when it's time to get fucked up and party. And people don't recognize those times. And you want to turn somebody off to do business with you, start talking business after hours. You know, you can take any aspiring female or male wants to do business one day, know that there's a time and a place to talk it.
I told a young girl at like a songwriter event that I was at a few months ago. You were standing next to me, I think, Skeeter. Super sweet gal, and she's actually really good. And we were just all there hanging out. and she tried to hand me the phone and and it's loud in there, She wanted me to like listen to one of her songs or whatever. And I was like,
Beating your ear up.
I just go, hey, I'm not going to listen to that right now. And this is going to sound mean, but you just need to send it to me. I'll listen to it later. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't. Can you snag another one of them?
No, you already. It's good. I'm a 2 beer maximum. It's one for each tire.
Okay, good.
Motorcycle.
That's all that I was going to allow anyway. So
That's all I can have. I got to play tonight.
But I told her, don't do that to anybody else. I'm just telling you I'm trying to help you. Like, don't do that. And then everybody.
Oh, and I've been. Now, when it comes to showing people songs, I'm totally guilty of
demo
jailing some people, but my demos are pretty fucking good.
Well, yeah,
usually.
Yeah, but it definitely depends on the scenario.
Yeah, and if it's loud and there's shit going on, no.
Everybody,
but I've done it. I've done it, and there's people out there that'll know. You've done that to me. My producers and shit. We're out partying. I'm like, dude, listen to this hook. I got,
Yeah, but those are people
Those are people you're working with, to get a record done.
Yeah, that's different.
It's different. But
or like the freaking sitting at the red door and somebody's
I can't stand it when somebody's yelling in your ear because the music's loud and they don't understand. It's kind of like somebody talking with earbuds on, in an airplane. Man, this is fucking good. And you're like, this is good. Like, you don't have to. You just scream that. The whole fucking plane knows it's good.
Yeah.
So
screaming song ideas at you.
Oh yeah, I had a guy come up to me once. This is the worst song idea, and he'll know who I'm talking about too. But he said, "Man, I've got a great idea," and he built it up. And he's like, "I'm going to tell you when I see you." I was like, "Okay, tell me when you see him." So finally, man, I've got this great idea. I see him at Green Hall. He comes up to me and he goes, "Dude, how about this? Smoking a J and drinking an IPA."
Good heavens.
And I was like, I said,
you owe me
I said,
money.
Brother,
You owe
I
me
said,
money for
I said, you're
stealing
fucking kidding, right? First off, IPAs just like pop my ears. I can't drink that shit. Hop water, And he's like, yeah, dude, smoking a J, drinking an IPA. I said, I'll get back to you, bud. I'm gonna get back to you on that one. Let me marinate. Let me let that one marinate.
Well, and then did he do it when he tells you?
Oh yeah, I thought it was about to be, freaking god dang, freaking bridge over troubled water. Good,
Yeah.
I thought it was about to be amazing.
Nope.
No, smoke a J and drink an IPA.
Brutal.
That song never hit the freaking. I don't think it's been streamed.
Definitely not.
Or written, for fuck's sake. I hope it hasn't been written.
Definitely not.
I pray it hasn't.
Well, yeah, because you're playing Zook tonight, but then you're playing in Aspen. Are those shows in Aspen sold out?
Yeah, we're playing Belly Up, and then I'm playing a private event up at the St. Regis. Hopefully they pipe in a bunch of oxygen, so my big ass will fall out.
Like
Dude, I see spots when I'm singing up
there.
Do
they also blow?
Huh?
Do they also blow into your ass?
They will have to blow into my asshole and into my mouth to keep me alive up there. Yes. I just say to go to the Williford Woods and bring them sons of bitches out. Be sure y'all got some colonoscopy tubing because we're going to need some help.
That's how we do it right there. That's how we finish it, dog. That's how we do it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry for saying the F word so much to all the kids, but I think it's one of the best words ever built.
It can mean a lot.
Yeah.
And it can infer a lot of emotion, a lot of anger, a lot of happiness.
A lot of O faces.
Oh, that was a different one. Oh, yeah. Mine was, mine was a different one.
Or you can just say, you could do what Kirk Cousins does. Frick.
That one's always.
Frick?
That's always actually.
I think that's worse than saying fuck.
It's bothered me more.
Yeah. It's kind of like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah. And it feels like so much effort to say it.
Yeah. Well, we're all sinners. Drink up, have a good time. You only live once.
Like old freaking booger here.
Old booger bear. Booger.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here, booger.
All right, y'all. Paul's
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Absolute gangster. Yeah, dude, thanks for taking the time. I've been such a fan for so long.
Well, dude, I'm enjoying what I'm hearing from you and
thanks.
what y'all are doing this podcast. It's just like I said, I don't really talk to too many people. I've talked to Troy Cartwright and you really. So I'll talk to some of those other guys one day, but who knows?
Yeah.
I've got to enjoy talking to somebody before I go talk to them.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I get it. Well, that's actually funny. So if we would have had lunch and you're like, this guy sucks.
I probably figured out a way to say I have explosive diarrhea or something.
Gotta go to a cockfight.
Yeah, but I'm going to this cockfight down there at the Bellagio. I'll be back in 5 days.
Down at the Bellagio.
Yeah.
All right, cockfights at the Bellagio.
See you there.
All right, see y'all.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
It's the final crash.